Hello Capricorn, fellow earth sign, me being a Taurus and all that. I like to joke with people and say I do tarot card readings. I'm a Taurus, so I'm far too down to earth for all that like rubbish. It's nice to see who gets it. Anyway, welcome to your September 2023 general reading. I'm using the ancient Italian tarot, the major arcana only. I'm going to pull 3 cards, and so I'm going to just give it another shuffle. Now, these 3 cards are, in first position, things as you see them. In second position, the blockage, and in third position, things as they actually are. So we're moving through this reading from an individual viewpoint through to a more generalized neutral viewpoint in card number 3. And the fulcrum, the linkage between card number 1 and card number 2, obviously, sorry, card number 1 and card number 3 is card number 2. And if you can engage with card number 2, you can move from card number 1 to card number 3. Okay, now I've already given these a good shuffle. I'm going to give it one more little shuffle for you, Cappy. And then I'm going to split the deck into 3 little piles and we'll see what we get. Right. There we go. There we go. Okay, card number 1, the Lovers in the reverse. Oof, that's quite an interesting card, as you'll hear. Card number 2, well, Temperance in the reverse. Oof, and card number 3, oh dear, sorry to say this, the Sun in reverse. Okay, what I'm getting from this straight away, Capricorn, is that something that you're kind of mulling over, should I go this way or should I go that way, is not actually going to lead to anything significant or kind of beneficial for you. And I'm seeing that in the Sun in reverse here in position 3. And the reason for that is because what you're not seeing, position number 2, is that this apparent clear choice between 2 things, and it looks to me like you're struggling to make some sort of decision about something, some sort of choice about something. What's actually going on here is that the whole situation that you're thinking about here is just kind of akimbo and just a bit all over the place. And if you treat this situation, whatever it is that's brought you here to this reading, as a simple binary matter between this or that, it's not actually going to lead to anything good. And it won't anyway. Whatever you do, it won't, because the whole thing in its core is just a crock of chaos. There's chaos here. Okay, Temperance is the card of balance and coming to a resting point. It's the card of that imperceptible point in the swing of a pendulum where it reaches the middle way. It's the card of the middle way. It's the card of sort of peaceful and productive neutrality. And we see that because the angel is standing here perfectly still and concentrated on the movement between these 2 vessels and pouring that fluid, the stuff of life, from one vessel to the other, and not spilling a drop. And, card number 14, it's 2/3 of the way through the major arcana cycle. It's that point where you kind of just take some time out and weigh things up. It's the card of weighing things up. And in that pause of weighing things up, she's not walking anywhere. She's not going anywhere at the moment. She's just standing there, pouring from one vessel to the other, weighing things up. It's a nice, peaceful little kind of pause, a moment for reflection, and to just kind of draw all the elements, the two opposing sides together, and just weigh them up and have a look. It's like a sort of major arcana version of all the twos in the minor arcana. Do I go this way or do I go that way? There's a choice to be made, a step to be taken. And it's always useful to spend a little bit of time before you take that step, because once you've set out on something, there's often the devil's own time changing direction. But what I'm getting from this, with Temperance in the reverse here, is that everything is a bit all over the place, to put it in a very kind of neat and sophisticated way. Everything's basically all over the place. And in not seeing that, there's more in play here than you think. There's more in play here than you know. So treating this, whatever it is, as a binary this or that decision is not appropriate and isn't going to lead to well-being here. Now, the Lovers is a card of binary choices. Okay, we've got the young man here. He's trying to decide whether he is his mother's son or this young lady's boyfriend. Okay, that's the choice he's taking there. And it is a paradigm shift for him. You know, because his mother's clearly expecting him to come home for his tea. She's whispering in his ear. She's going, I've got your favourite, love. Fish fingers and peas. And he's standing there going, oh, that's nice, Mum. But then he's looking at the young lady and going, oh, I'd much rather be tramping the lanes with her on a nice, warm, sunny evening. Now, he knows which way he wants to go, but he's torn because he's got split loyalties, okay? However, this situation, this stasis of him standing in the middle, wondering which way to go, isn't going to last much longer, because up here we have the simple, wild, inexplicable, unpoliceable matter of desire. You know, when we want someone, basically, I mean, this card is about people. When we want someone, we just want them. It doesn't need to make any sense, okay? And there is often no sense to it. I mean, we can all go delving around in our deep psychology and our childhood trauma and work out why it is we want the person who is clearly not good for us, which is often the way. But we want what we want, what we want. And once that arrow that this little cherub is about to fire, once that arrow finds its mark, all bets are off. A choice will be taken, and it will be based on desire. And, you know, there's no arguing with it. And that's how we make our lives. We choose what we choose because we want it, okay? We look at the options in front of us. Do I go home for my tea with my mum, or do I go out for a date with her, right? We look at the options and then we choose the one we want. And once we've done that, the die is cast in that particular matter. And we can't go back. We can't go back. You know, this lad can't be his mother's son and his girlfriend's chap. He can't be both. He's got to be one or the other, right? We know which way this is going to go. But it's a tough choice for him, obviously. But, you know, you can't stay a child and become an adult. You can't do it. It's got to be one or the other. So the fact that this is in the reverse shows to me that there's a difficulty. You're grappling with some apparently binary decision, trying to work out what you want. What you don't see is that there is much more in play here than a simple binary choice. There's stuff going on around the back that you perhaps sense and kind of don't want to engage with for whatever reasons, because it's complicated. Perhaps some of it's out of your control, but there are multiple factors in play here. So approaching whatever it is as a binary decision ain't going to get you anywhere. So perhaps the message here is to kind of cast your mind a bit wider. Is it really as simple as, do I want this or do I want that? Do I choose this or do I choose that? Which road do I go down, this one or that one? Because it looks to me like there are a lot more possibilities on the table and a lot more factors feeding into this situation than you're actually taking account of. So that's the message from this reading, Capricorn. Maybe it resonates, maybe it doesn't. But it seems to me that great happiness is actually possible in this situation. It is actually possible to get to a point of peaceful and positive resolution and conclusion on something. And it's not lost on me that this couple here is the same couple as we see here in the sun. All right, so great happiness is possible from this situation if you can open your thinking onto a wider level than the simple binary choice between A and B. Because there's a whole other 24 letters out there bubbling away in the quantum field that are actually feeding into this situation. So cast your mind wider, Capricorn, and who knows, you know, if you're able to get out of this kind of Saturnian this or that thinking, this sun in reverse can be turned to the upright, and we would all like a bit of that, wouldn't we? Right, I'm going to leave that there, Capricorn. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to, please help me by throwing the YouTube algorithm a bone of engagement, a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a comment or a subscription or whatever you like. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. That's absolutely, you know, it's absolutely free. So there we go. Have a wonderful month and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.